Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be diving into another classic Rush concert DVD, Grace Under Pressure. So my copy of Grace Under Pressure was part of this Killer 3 DVD box set titled Rush Replay X3. It includes remixed and remastered versions of Rush's 3 previously released VHS concert videos, Exit Stage Left, Grace Under Pressure, and A Show of Hands. And as a bonus, it also includes a previously unreleased live CD from the Grace Under Pressure tour. Each DVD also comes with a very cool reproduction of the tour program, and in 2007, they also released each DVD as a separate package. So here's what the Grace Under Pressure tour booklet looks like. It contains some cool band photos, the set list, the credits, and a fascinating essay by Neil Peart on the making of the Grace Under Pressure album. Stick around to the end and I will display the full DVD set list for you. So the Grace Under Pressure tour was my first time seeing Rush in concert. The year was 1984. I had just graduated high school and was nervously counting down the days until I had to report the Navy boot camp in a few months. What better way to alleviate my dread than to catch my favorite band in concert, right? By this time, I had already become a full-fledged Rush fanatic after devouring their 3 previous albums, Permanent Waves, Moving Pictures, and Signals. And I still consider that 3-album run to be Rush's finest, and right up there with any band, really. The Grace Under Pressure DVD was filmed at Maple Leaf Gardens in Rush's hometown of Toronto, Canada on September 21, 1984. As they often did throughout most of the 80s and 90s, Rush would kick off the proceedings blasting the Three Stooges theme song over the PA as the arena lights are dimmed. This would eventually erupt into not only one of the greatest guitar riffs of all time, but one of Rush's greatest songs and concert openers, The Spirit of Radio. The mid to late 80s version of Rush saw them begin to reflect the decade's trends with a more new wave aesthetic. The hairstyles were evolving, and in very non-rock star fashion, Alex and Geddy would usually perform in suit jackets, with the sleeves rolled up to look hip, of course. The instruments were also more modern and flashy, like Geddy's headless Steinberger bass and his greater reliance on synthesizers. Neil Peart also started to incorporate electronic drums into his kit, and Alex Lifeson favored his now famous Hentor Sportscaster guitar on this tour as well. Interestingly, Godin Guitars from Canada recently released a signature model of this guitar, and she ain't cheap, my friends. One of the coolest things about this tour was that you got the entire Fear trilogy performed in order, beginning with Part 1, The Enemy Within from Grace Under Pressure, followed by Part 2, The Weapon from Signals, and ending with Part 3, Witch Hunt from Moving Pictures. It's interesting how they were actually released in reverse order, though. These songs also serve to highlight just how much Geddy Lee had evolved as a keyboard player over the last few albums and tours, and how unique his sound was becoming. The keyboards in these particular 3 songs sounded absolutely menacing. I was thrilled to see such an awesome version of New World Man here too. I mean, since they've only played it on a couple of tours since. It is followed by back-to-back Grace Under Pressure standout tracks, Distant Early Warning and Red Sector A, which really should convince anyone as to just how underrated the Grace Under Pressure album really is. Not to me, though. Geddy Lee actually preceded Red Sector A with a "Here's another Red song for you," which only really highlighted that both Red Lenses and Red Barchetta were played at the concert, but left off the DVD. Rush would actually play every song from Grace Under Pressure throughout this tour. Alex showed off his classical guitar skills to start Closer to the Heart, and it progressed into a captivating showcase of his electric guitar virtuosity. What an epic song. Rush often slips into a medley during each tour, And this time we get YYZ, the Temples of Sphinx, and Tom Sawyer fused together to close out the first set. Fortunately, though, they were each played almost in their entirety. The encore set featured a phenomenal performance of Vital Signs, which had me shaking my head in awe throughout. You will be hard-pressed to find a better live version than this one here. The band have discussed how this song was influenced by the Police at the time, and it paved the way for bold changes that you would hear on their follow-up 80s albums. To bring this excellent show to a close, Rush go all the way back to their debut album with a ripping medley of Finding My Way and In the Mood. Methinks the boys were listening to a bit of Led Zeppelin around the time of that album. The Grace Under Pressure audio was remixed and remastered by Alex Lifeson and Mike Frazier, and it's presented in DTS and Dolby Digital 5.1 surround and PCM stereo mixes. All of the tracks sound great and are clear improvements over the original recordings. The DTS track, to me especially, sounds good and is on par with many newer concert DVDs I have reviewed. The show is presented in its original full-frame video format and does not show much improvement over the original VHS version. The picture was cleaned up some, but it remains somewhat dark and grainy and often gets overpowered by the stage lights, especially when they are shining on Alex's bright white sport coat. The camera production also leaves a lot to be desired, as the angle changes came much too rapidly for my taste. Surprise, surprise. No special features were included, and for some reason, the Big Money video, which was included on the VHS tape, was left off the DVD. And it certainly wasn't due to time constraints, since the total running time of this DVD is only a pathetic 63 minutes, because, as I mentioned before, some of the songs from the concert were not included on the DVD. The DVD set list shown here contains 14 songs, if you generously count the medley songs individually, but they are all great ones at least. As for my ratings of this DVD, my overall production rating is a 7 out of 10, and my overall performance rating is an 8 out of 10. So although the DVD set list was frustratingly short, Grace Under Pressure is yet another excellent Rush concert DVD that expertly captures the band's progression into the 80s, so don't miss out. Alrighty, that's it for me today. Let me know your thoughts on Grace Under Pressure in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Catch you next time.